There's a lot of cruel people out here, and there's a lot of people that are not happy with themselves. And when they're not happy with themselves, they project that energy on you, and they start to tell you, most definitely when they see that you are a light, and they see that God has chosen you to, complete that purpose that He has for your life, and they see that light in you, and some people are jealous that you have that light, so they do whatever they can to dim it, man. And if it's saying all these nasty words and just tearing you down all the way down to where you just feel like you're nothing, and you just feel like who you thought you were as a person, or who you are as a person, you get to that point to where you're just shattered. Like, people will do that. So that's why it's always good. And for me, I'm always praying, and I'm telling you, I talk to myself a lot. I never used to do that. I used to just if people say something to me, I'd be like, I know it's not true, but they're saying it, so it is. And then I start saying all these unkind words to myself. I don't do that anymore, and that's because God doesn't allow me to do that. Whenever I get off track, or whenever I don't feel like I'm myself, I start praying. I'm like, God, look, I'm off balance right now. I'm not on the right path. I'm not on none of that stuff. I need you to help me, get back on the right path. I'm not talking to myself kindly right now. I'm not feeling right now. I need you to help me get back on the right track. Sometimes it takes me longer days than others to get back on the right track. I pray all the time. Majority of the time, I'm always in a good mood, and even when I'm having a bad day, I'm still always in a good mood. But that took a lot of work, you know what I mean? So it's even though it may take me a week to get back there, I get back there. And even when I don't feel right, or even when, I'm just in doubt about everything, I have days where I'm like, okay, so why do I think this is gonna work? Why do I feel like I'm worthy of this? Why do I think this big dream can happen to me? I have days like that, but I lean on God to pull me out of it. Before, I would stay in it, but I wasn't calling out to God. So once I start calling out to God, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm not on the right path, but I believe and know that I will get on the right path. And so with my journey and everything, sometimes I'm not on the right path. Sometimes I'm not, my head's not screwed on. Even when it comes to YouTube, I didn't post for the longest time because I was so caught up in everything that was going around me. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I was so caught up in everything that was going around me, I lost focus of what God has been telling me to focus on this whole time. So, and it happens. But when in doubt, He's always reminding me. And even when I don't feel like praying, I force myself to pray. Even when I don't feel right, even these last couple weeks, I don't know, I just been kind of feeling off. I think because a lot of things have been going on that are not in my control. But I just throw on a little bit of makeup. That helps me, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow. And I know that my makeup game, it has gotten better, So yeah. So anyway, when in doubt, God always shows up. God always reminds me who I am. And I'm not going to stop doing what it is I love. I'm not going to stop doing anything. And I'm not going to stop pouring in myself. And I'm not going to allow other people to make me feel, less than a human being. And you just have to, I feel like when you grow a foundation in God, nobody can tell you nothing. And once you realize and know your path and the path that God has for you, nobody can tell you nothing. I'm telling you, nobody can tell you anything. Once I really started working on my working on my spiritual journey with God, and once I really start listening to Him and really understanding the purpose and really understanding what I'm crossing the street, really understanding what He has for my life, you can't tell me nothing. Nothing can shake my faith. Nothing can shake the vision I see for myself. Nothing can shake it. It took me a minute to get there, but me just trusting in God and constantly praying and constantly seeking Him, and even when I don't feel like praying, and even when I'm upset at Him, because I'm like, look, I'm going through all this, and where are you at? But I still keep faith. So, and I just always get back to myself. But most importantly, God always helps me get back to myself. That's the important thing.